Marshall Fire delivered the first punch.
We are in a crisis. We are trying to stabilize our lives and come back.
City roadblocks could deliver the next.
These codes just make it more expensive.
We're live as fire victims fight to rebuild their homes.
A Colorado couple hope to grow their family.
They tell, citizens to evacuate, to get out, but yet who's helping the orphans?
Now war is standing between them and the chance to provide a better future.
I have never felt so helpless because there's nothing we can do.
Plus, baseball's opening day is canceled. Just how long a lockout could last.
Thank you for joining us for Denver 7 News at 6. I'm Shannon Ogden.
I'm Ann Trujillo. Marshall Fire victims have enough to worry about. Understandably, they didn't and don't want new green building code requirements to add to that.
Now, tonight, residents are ready to weigh in during a virtual town meeting. Denver 7 CB Cotton is live on this tonight. CB, those new codes were understandable when they were drawn up, but then came the fire.
Ann and Shannon, that's right. Tonight's meeting is virtual, but some people have left signs here at City Hall advocating for their viewpoint. This sign here behind me specifically calls for the city's green energy efficient codes to be repealed. But of course, there are some who want the codes to be kept. Louisville city councilors tell me people from both sides of this matter have been flooding their inboxes with messages about this. So these codes attempt to make all new home construction in Louisville with a net zero carbon footprint. That just means fewer greenhouse gas emissions. So how is this done? Builders have to install things like high efficiency windows, insulation, and siding. The codes also require residents to use either solar panels or a solar farm when building. Some residents say these things are too costly in a rebuild, and others say it's necessary to prevent more catastrophic fires in the future. Tonight, city councilors could vote to repeal, modify, or keep these codes. We spoke with one resident as she sifted through the rubble of her burned home, and she told us she's too stressed to have a strong opinion on this matter.
I want all of us as human beings to do more and to do what we can do. But with having to start over without having that preparation of knowing that we were going to build with a requirement of green builds, it makes it just harder to even know what we can do moving forward.
And again, the meeting just got underway. We'll be monitoring it all night. I should also note the town of Superior amended its green codes last night with an exception for Marshall Fire victims. We're live in Louisville this evening. I'm CB Cotton, Denver 7.
CB, thank you. And if you still haven't signed up for FEMA disaster assistance, you have until tomorrow to do so. And this applies to both residents and businesses. And you can apply at disasterassistance.gov or visit the Disaster Recovery Center on South Public Road in Lafayette.
Boulder County promised free debris removal to start today for the Marshall Fire victims. That has now been pushed back because of appeals to the contract and a lack of organization. Still, some victims decided to move forward on their own.
If you can submit the right application and the right documents, then you should be approved and get these people moving forward to the next step.
And that process can be quite pricey, and because of the appeals, it could still be a few weeks until the county can get that debris out.
Superior Mayor Clint Folsom will virtually attend President Biden's State of the Union address tonight. Folsom was invited by Colorado Congressman Joe Neguse, who will honor Superior's resilience and recovery after the Marshall Fire. But tonight, the president's focus will mainly be on the economy. The state of the economy is the president's biggest challenge. He's expected to address rising inflation, which is at a 40-year high. The ongoing crisis in Ukraine will likely cause the president to make foreign policy a big theme as well. The pandemic will also get airtime, but more so about the progress we've made in recovering and moving forward as a nation. And that message of moving forward is something Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg hopes Americans will wake up with tomorrow morning. Denver 7 spoke with the secretary earlier today.
I think this is a chance for the American people to unite around a vision of how we go forward. Again, for all that we're still up against, America has a lot to be proud of. If you look at this last year and what we've been able to do to dig out of the economic depths that we were in, to make enormous progress against this COVID pandemic, and in so many other areas. There's a long way to go, and we need to come together to do it.
I also had a chance to chat with Colorado Democratic Senator Michael Bennet. We talked about President Biden's economic focus and what needs to be done to help you. Inflation is top of mind for Coloradans right now. Getting beyond the pandemic, there are so many domestic issues to address right now.
Inflation is a problem. It's a real problem that families are facing every time they gas up their car, go to the grocery store. So I think he's going to have, I think, suggestions around how we can improve our supply chain.
And Republican Governor Kim Reynolds from Iowa will deliver the Republicans' response to the president's speech tonight. The State of the Union is at the top of the hour right here on Denver 7. Make sure you tune in tonight at 10 for our 360 in-depth coverage of the president's address.
These are the faces of those most impacted by the crisis in Ukraine. Children being torn from their families torn apart as they flee to safety in other countries. Well, for those children who hope for a better future in America, that's being put on hold now. Centennial-based CCAI says there are 45 families nationwide trying to adopt children from Ukraine through its services. 3 of them are from Colorado. Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez spoke to one of those families now in limbo.
In her Castle Rock home, everything is in order for Amy Martin's girls when they arrive.
We've got clothes, we've got their bedrooms, we've got everything set, and we're just waiting now.
The last time they saw each other was during Christmas. Ever since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, their adoptions are on hold, and even just communicating with them has been nearly impossible.
They're in 2 separate orphanages. They don't have them together. We have no communication with the younger 2.
Martin is one of 3 families in Colorado facing similar concerns. Nationwide, 175 families are in the process of adopting about 300 children in Ukraine.
The safety of all the children right now is kind of everyone's focus.
Judy Winger with CCAI Adoption Services in Centennial says for now there isn't much families can do.
We're all going to need to just kind of be in a wait and see where there's avenues where we can fundraise and help get services.
If children end up leaving the country for safety reasons, it could also increase the timeline of reuniting them with families.
Are these children eligible to be coming across, or are they children that really need to be kept where they are? Are they able to return to Ukraine or not? I mean, there's just going to be so many unknown questions.
Still, Martin hasn't lost hope.
So these are all the clothes that we had for now she'll be 12, but when she came, hopefully her sister will fit in some of them.
No matter how long it takes, she knows sooner or later they'll be home for good.
We'll just have to look at it as red tape that we have to get through to get them.
Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
In Colorado State Capitol will be lit up in blue and yellow all week long to show solidarity for the people of Ukraine. Those are the colors of the Ukraine flag.
City officials in Brighton are capitalizing on the warm weather to make sure emergency road repairs are done. Yesterday, several sinkholes opened up in town. The sinkholes are in the area of North 7th Avenue and Longs Peak Street. And the city says a perfect storm of events caused the road to open up. A water main break last week flooded the streets during freezing temperatures. The area remained in a frozen state until it began thawing recently, and the city says that thawing caused the soil to compact and created a void beneath the asphalt. Well, crews are hoping to have the road repaired by the end of the week.
With 2 state parks in its backyard and just a short drive to Denver, it's no wonder so many people want to live in Sterling Ranch. It's also no wonder so many others want to visit. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon reports tonight from Northwest Douglas County.
Starting today, Moore Road is closed to traffic until at least the end of May. It's part of a much bigger construction project designed to bring an east to west corridor for the people living in Sterling Ranch. They're real excited about this project because they say it could help with future traffic problems. The sound of growth, stretching 20 miles from the heart of Denver.
Because you're not quite part of Metro Denver, but you're not quite in the sticks.
With it comes traffic, something none of us want to deal with.
In the next 10 years, this is going to be a metropolis out here.
Some people living in Sterling Ranch moved here to avoid spending their time on a busy road.
Oh my God, yes. And if it didn't, I still wouldn't want to waste it sitting in traffic.
Usually, that's not something they worry about.
Traffic's not too bad depending on which way you go in and out, but Titan can get busy.
Titan, it's this road here and the main way to get to Highway 85. Phase 1 of the Waterton Road Extension project connected Airport Road to Moore Road. The second phase will make it all the way to Waterton Road, giving another route for people to use without having to fight the other cars trying to get to Chatfield or Roxborough State Parks.
And anything that makes it handier, faster, easier, better, I'm going to use. And that's what everybody else would do.
Several neighbors say it's a project that could have been started a couple of years ago because they don't see the construction slowing down anytime soon.
It's still in the growth phases, and there's quite a few other housing developments coming up, and it's not going to get better. It's going to get exponentially worse.
But still saying this project is heading in the right direction. In Douglas County, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
And Douglas County is responsible for the construction here. Phase 2 should be done by fall of this year. It's going to cost about $16 million and is being paid for by the Sterling Ranch Community Authority Board and Development Company.
Opening day is canceled as Major League Baseball players and owners fail to reach a deal.
Beautiful conditions this Tuesday, and will stay dry the next couple of days. It's going to be clear and cool for the morning, but we do have the chance for snow on the 7th day. More in your extended forecast still to come.
Plus, you've heard of downward dog. What about downward elephant?
There he goes.
No, oh.
Belly on the ground.
Little downward elephant.
Here we go. Elephant down.